Hello and welcome to the Power of Charms podcast. I am Kay McDonald and today I get to interview the amazing Sharon Lechter. Hello, Sharon.
Hello, Kay. I'm so delighted to be with you. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Oh, I feel so honored. You know, I was first introduced to Sharon Lechter when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad in 1997. And it's interesting because we both live in the same town. We're in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Arizona. And through the years, I have watched Sharon do so many amazing projects with amazing people. You've written a plethora of books. You have given, you do private coaching, you've done courses, you've done amazing presentations. A friend of mine started a new women's concept called the No Women. It was the No Tribe, and you were a keynote speaker there, and I think influential in her life, Sarah Binkin. So anyway, I'm just tickled to get to share you with our listeners. I'm sure a lot of people already know who you are, but this is going to be a fun day, and we're going to talk about the importance of charity in your life and collaboration.
Two of my favorite topics.
I know. So without me hogging the stage here, let's talk about your philosophy of philanthropy and how it just, is woven through your life.
Well, thank you, Kay. It started at a very young age. I grew up in a household where my dad would ask me every night, Sharon, have you added value to someone's life today? And both my parents were always very, very generous. So it's just part of how we grew up, was giving back and understanding that success is not something to hold on to. Success allows you to elevate others as well. And so I teach people how to be more successful. I teach people how to be more generous, because the more successful you are, the more benefit you can give to other people around you. So it's been ingrained as part of who I am since I was a small child.
Well, and it's part of, like, you were all about strategy and money and, stewarding your money and, doing the most with it. And so philanthropy should always be a part of a person's lifelong strategy. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of people, the vast majority of us end up with this scarcity mindset because we're not taught about money in school. So we grow up hearing things like we can't afford it, pinch your pennies, save for a rainy day. So as children, we hear money negative, money negative, money negative. No wonder we end up with this mindset of scarcity. And my purpose on life is to get rid of that scarcity mindset and help people adopt a mindset of abundance so that they truly can. It's not a win-lose world. It's a win-win-win. And if we can create abundance in our lives, then we can help more other additional people. And it's not so much about success but significance. And that's the Play Big movement that I launched a few years ago is about being number one in your field, living your legacy, because your legacy is created every single day with every heart you touch, and creating maximum impact. And that impact is also from giving back.
And the Play Big movement, you stepped back for a few years because you had a personal tragedy. My condolences, you lost your son. And I know sometimes it's something like that. You need to step back and just reassess. And you did that. And then you came back real strong with this whole new movement. Tell us about this movement, Sharon.
Well, certainly, all my life, I played a pretty big game, starting the Talking Children's book, working with little companies like Disney, Warner Brothers, Sesame Street.
Little ones.
Yeah, Marvel Comics. And then with the Rich Dad organization, working with Warner Books and Time Life. So I always played a very big game because I knew you needed that kind of power of association to really get your message across. And then 8.5 years ago, we lost our youngest son, and I kind of withdrew, which I think is normal. You want to just kind of like hide away. And it was devastating. I went in what I call my world of numbness, right? Living in neutral, no more highs, lots of lows. And I actually got to the point where I thought about retiring. And about 5 years ago, I thought about retiring. I got a lot of pushback from family and friends. And I even heard my son in my ears saying, "Get over it, Mom, there's more for you to do." And certainly what we've seen in the last couple of years, everyone watching and listening to this, we've all had something that stopped us in our tracks. It could have been a death, and like in my case, a death, an illness, a financial setback, a divorce. and it does stop us in our tracks, but I want people to understand that you're still here for a reason. Whatever you've been through will make you stronger, and whatever you've been through is going to help you help others going through the same thing. And so I made a vow that I was going to start playing big again, but I wasn't going to do it alone. So I launched a private Facebook group called Play Big Movement with Sharon Lechter. It's free to join. And I don't promote it. We've got over 3,000 people that said, I want to play a bigger game. And so I do weekly broadcasts, but part of it is when you allow yourself to play small, you look down. It's like wearing blinders. Mm-hmm. And when you make the decision to play a bigger game again, you take those blinders off and you look up, and those opportunities have always been there. You just haven't recognized them. So I want people to start recognizing those opportunities to place themselves in a position of greater potential, because when you do that, you have more power and opportunity to affect greater change and be more charitable.
In every way in your life. Is there a significant turning point or one significant thing that can make people have that aha moment to play big?
I think part of it is I talk about the power of association, and I share the success equation in my book, 3 Feet from Gold, and you can get a copy of a worksheet I did. It's personalsuccessequation.com. Mm-hmm. And it talks about, we're taught about our passion and our talent, and most of us stop there, think we have to do it on our own. But true success is times having that power of association, having the right people around you, having people who are strong where you are weak, having people that are mentors, people that support you along the way. And then times taking action. How many times are we numb? And so we just sit back. We don't do what we know we're supposed to. Mm-hmm. And then plus F, which is faith. Faith in yourself, faith in what you're doing, faith that is needed and necessary, and faith that you will succeed. So when I'm mentoring someone, when I first start with them, I take them through that equation: your passion, your talent, your association, your action, and your faith. And invariably, it's the power of association and faith that need the most work. Mm-hmm. And Kay, you know this, the power of associate, they go hand in hand. When you have the right people around you, you have the right mentor, your self-confidence goes up. And when you have a bad day, they won't let you stay down. They lift you up. That's, it's so important for people to understand, to have the right people around you, that power of association. We all have bad days. And yes, you need to mourn, but don't stay there. Have the people, let them lift you up and keep moving in the right direction.
That is so true, especially for entrepreneurs. I mean, I'm an entrepreneur and I don't have a lot of employees. I outsource things, and I do lots of collaborations. And that's one thing that I've always noticed with you is you always surround yourself with really impactful, wonderful, interesting people. And it seems like you always have new people. And I sit back and I watch somebody like you, Sharon. I'm like, okay, I know she's not doing this all by herself. Like I was just reading, you put out this amazing newsletter. So I get this newsletter and I'm going through it and I'm like, oh my God, look at this collaboration. How does she know this person? What is she doing here? And it's just, you have this magical formula and it's really working. And I think that's one thing about you, is that you're so open to sharing that with other people to help them also generate their own success.
I think the power of collaboration is 1 + 1's 11, not 2.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's something that you get a much bigger impact when you align yourself with other people. They already have audiences. They have the opportunity to help you spread your message into a larger audience. And it's really important. And yeah, this year I'm 67 and people go, when are you going to retire? And I started 3 new companies this year.
Oh my Lord.
Because I found things that I know will help people. So I wanted to get involved. I got involved in a real estate company to help realtors create personal wealth. I got involved in a goal setting company called ULA, which is incredible, tailor-made, driven by AI, so that you get support in making and creating and achieving your goals. And it's something that, and then working with Cardone Ventures, Grant Cardone and Brandon Dawson, they have an entire entrepreneurial endeavor where I can add a tremendous amount of value related to intellectual property and licensing. So I'm excited. I mean, I'm busier than ever. And all 3 of those were brand new associations and collaborations for me since last fall. So
I have a question for you, because you must have unbelievable people approaching you all the time to do collaborations and new projects. And I know I have the ooh shiny syndrome. I'm like, oh my God, that sounds great. I'll do that. Oh my God, I'll do that. But we're only one person and there's only so many hours in the day. Do you have like a method or a criteria where you say, okay, this is a great fit for me and this is not a great fit for me?
Yeah, it's a process we go through all the time, because you're right. We get a lot of people wanting to align with us and do things with us. And I'd love to do it all, but I can't.
Right.
And so we do have and I have an incredible team. Angela's been with me 20 years. I call her my velvet hammer. She's the one, because I have those same shiny object things. I'll get off a phone call and get all excited. And she's, okay, Sharon, does that change the priorities we set yesterday? She reels me back in. But it's really important to have that process. Again, it's that power of association. But understanding, we go through a process. What am I really good at? Mm-hmm. First, I analyze how I'm spending my time. I have to do this every quarter because I can get myself spread too thin. How am I using my time? And then the way that I'm using it, is it something that I'm really good at? Is it something that I really enjoy? Is it making me money or making an impact? And then I look at it and say, okay, what needs to go and what stays? And it's a good way to a process to go through to determine how to focus your energies in certain areas.
Yeah, well, those are really good aspects to consider. And I think people really have to have a process sometimes to work through all those opportunities. So I appreciate you sharing that. I have to integrate it in my own life.
Well, right now it's even more important, Kay, because in the pandemic, I opened myself up to saying yes to everybody. I was doing 6 to 8 Zooms a day because I could, and people were struggling, and I wanted to support as many people. So in the last 3 months, we've been trying to reel me back in because I started traveling again. And it's like, okay, I got to the point where it was not a good, it was impacting my health because I was too busy. And so you have to look at it and readjust and analyze every few months.
It's so important to have balance, but it's so difficult to have balance when you're so inspired and you have inspirational people all around you, right? So you gotta rein it back. But yeah, I doubt if you will ever retire, Sharon, because you just have too much energy.
I said, instead of retire, I just refire. I just find something. I just get something that gets me excited, and which is what's happened this year with these 3 new initiatives. And I could have only done one, but I got excited about all of them. So why not?
Do you have a formula for keeping your sanity and keeping your health? Like, do you meditate? Do you exercise? What's your success formula?
Well, I'd like to say I've always done it, but my husband and I earlier this year, we adopted a whole new nutritional strategy and exercise every single morning. We both lost over 25 pounds and maintaining that and feeling better about ourselves. He's 72, I'm 67. So we have to start taking care of our health. And, every morning I go through a process of what my priorities are for that day. I set them, I review it with my team. And before every interview, every speaking gig, I always say the prayer of Jabez, which helps me center. It's a little 4-line prayer in the Old Testament that talks about, dear God, please bless me indeed. Enlarge my territory, meaning help me impact as many people as possible. May your hand be with me, deliver what I need to say to the people in front of me, and then so that I may not be harmed or cause harm. And that's a little 4-line prayer and in the middle of the Old Testament, but it really helps me recenter myself and take it outside of me. Because successful businesses solve a problem or serve a need. And if you focus on that, it takes it outside of the ego.
And I think it's important to have a faith in something, whether it's God or Buddha or, some higher power. And I think that's such an important part of your daily regime. That is one of the keys, I think, to your success. I also love almost everybody that I work with, because I'm in the charm business. There's symbols around us that mean things and that can impact our lives and can impact our environments. And for example, like I have a friend who every time she sees a hummingbird, it reminds her of her mother. And another friend of mine is very religious. She always wears a cross. I today have a collection of coins on, and I have the Child Help Charm, which is one of the charities that you're involved with. But you shared with me earlier that there's a special symbol that means something to you. Can you share that with us?
Well, it's any yellow flower is something my son, when he was alive, would give me yellow flowers. So wherever I go, they just pop up wherever I am. And he used to specifically give me yellow roses, but you see, I have yellow flowers over my shoulder. He's always with me. We have a ranch in Young, Arizona called cherrycreeklodge.com. Every time I go up there, the first thing I see, there's a yellow flower waiting for me. So it's just a wild flower, but it's all, there, wherever I look, I see it. So it's something that's a very special thing to me.
Yeah, it's like there's symbolism everywhere. Sometimes you just have to be aware, right? And it can be so important. I love the fact that you have that ranch too. I've heard about that ranch, and I know people that have gone up and played at your ranch. Tell us about your ranch. Is that just kind of this super fun diversion that you and Michael have?
Yeah, well, you should probably, when you get married, think about where you want to be for your retirement. And I'm an ocean gal, and my husband's a mountain guy. And he always wanted a survival property. So about 16 years ago, we ran across this. We were looking for 10 acres somewhere so he could go have a cabin and shoot his guns and nobody bother him. But we ran across this ranch and we both fell in love with it. We actually bought it the day we saw it. And it is the site of the Pleasant Valley War, which was a famous feud between the Tewksburys and the Grahams. And we bought the Tewksbury Ranch. And we own 300 acres and 40,000 acres of grazing rights, the national forest. So overnight, we became ranchers. And I teach finances. And so I said, this has to turn into an asset. So we have cows, and we created a beautiful lodge that is a guest ranch. So you can go to cherrycreeklodge.com. It's a little piece of heaven. It's totally off the grid, all solar power. We have our own well. We have the best aquifer of the state, so our water is just delightful.
Oh.
We have Lake Sharon, which my husband put in. That's my ocean.
Yeah, so you have your water.
Yes.
Your water
It's stocked with fish, guaranteed to catch fish, and we have a shooting range and horseback riding. So it's a little piece of heaven, and we love it.
Oh my gosh. Well, you are always doing so much, Sharon. Starting new businesses, writing new books. I see you've got your Exit Rich book beside you right there. I've got the book. I just got it. So delving into this, I have several of your other books too. So you've got 3 projects that you're focusing on this year. And then if people want to keep up with you, they go to your website. You've got several websites, I believe, but is it SharonLechter.com?
SharonLechter.com is kind of the hub for all the things that we do, or the cherrycreeklodge.com site for the ranch. But yeah, SharonLechter.com. Any questions? If you are a real estate agent, you want to create personal wealth, reach out to me, info@SharonLechter.com. If you want some help with goal setting, same thing. Reach out to me anytime. That email will come to me, info@SharonLechter.com. And please follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm everywhere.
And are you still looking for private consulting clients? Is that still a focus for you?
I have a limited number of clients that I do one-on-one mentoring for, yes. And we keep it to about 12 to 15 clients because of the fact that it is my highest priority are the clients that I work one-on-one with.
Right. Well, yeah, and you only have so many hours in the day, even though you have an amazing team that makes everything work and click. I'd love to clone your team.
Everybody wants my team.
Everybody wants your team. Right. Well, you are the living example of the power of just innovation and collaboration. And I don't know how you get it all done, but it's truly amazing. And I feel honored to have known you for this many years. And I can't wait to see what you come up with next year.
I can't wait. And hopefully next time we can be in person and I can give you a hug. So it's crazy times these days, but
I hope
it's my honor to be with you. And I thank you for putting together this podcast during this time when people really needed it. So thank you.
It's been a fun project, and it's interesting. All the wonderful women that I've connected with, you know how you know people, but then when you get to really sit down and talk with them one-on-one, you learn more fun things about them. And it's just been a great project. So I love having you a part of it, Sharon. Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's been my honor and pleasure. And I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you, Sharon. Have a charming day. Okay.